and welcome back to my channel, That Geeky Gal. My name is Gracie. Today I have for you some Disneyland themed Valentine decor for February. If you like this, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Comment down what else would you like me to share with you for some other holidays. So Valentine's Day is coming up and I wanted to do something for decor reasons, you know, and what's more lovey-dovey than Disney romance, right? Now, I didn't want to do anything particularly like as a character, so I was going on Pinterest, my usual route, trying to find some inspiration, and I did end up finding a lot of ideas. But when I think of love, I think of Disneyland. I'm missing Disneyland right now. Who isn't missing Disneyland because of the whole pandemic situation? And I'm from SoCal, so Disneyland is really close to my heart, and Fantasyland is probably the most magical place of all. So I decided to do something themed around the teacups for Valentine's Day. And this is one of my pictures that I took when we went the last time we went to Disneyland. And I enjoy the teacups, and I think this would have been a perfect thing. I also love treats, Disney treats. Who doesn't love Disney treats? And I ended up finding this picture of a donut, and I thought this would be great inspiration for a Valentine thing. So links will be in the description box for everything I use. So let's get started. Now, it was a lot easier for me to just go ahead and roll with it, and then I'll let you know what I'm using as I go along. So I ended up finding this large mug, clear mug from the Dollar Tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up painting the inside of it with white craft paint. Now, I tried using the white craft paint from the Dollar Tree just to give it a try. I wanted to see how well it worked, and to be quite honest with you, I didn't like it. It was too opaque, or not opaque enough, I guess you can say. And I decided to use a different color that I had on hand. So cream worked for me, and you can use white as long as it's an acrylic paint that works for you. Alright, so I'm going to set that to the side to dry, and I found these felt stickers at the Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use them to trace my hearts on there. Now, you can actually just stick these bad boys on there if you're not so crafty, and they just go all along, but I'm just going to use the biggest one that they have and trace that on here. So the teacups is what I'm going to do, and I love this heart-shaped teacups. It really reminded me of Valentine's with the hearts, so I'm going to be making that one for today, and you can make any one you want to. So remove the backing off of your felt sticker and go ahead and tape them on all over to on the inside portion of the teacup. With the gold Sharpie, I'm going to go ahead and trace them. So this is what it looks like when they're all sticked on there. And like I said, you can just do this all around, or you can do what I'm doing. So go ahead and grab your gold Sharpie, and you're going to go ahead and trace each of the hearts. Now you're going to want to do this a couple times just to make sure that the gold is really showing on there, and you want to make the line a little bit thicker than what the actual felt tracing is. So go ahead and do that for each of them, and then you're going to remove your stickers. Here it is. Here's one all removed. Once all my stickers are removed, I'm actually going to go ahead one more time with my Sharpie and make the inner part of the heart a little bit more thicker. Okay, here they are. Now, the next thing that we have to do is we have to make another mini heart inside. So I'm going to grab some pink, I think this is pink eraser from Apple Barrel, and this is what the teacup looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and paint another heart on the inside. Now with acrylic paint, if it's not made for glass, you do kind of have to go over it about maybe 2 or 3 times. So just make the heart as best as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then there is going to be another heart on the inside that is just clear. Here they all nice and dry. And then with my gold Sharpie again, I'm just going to go ahead and make a tiny small mini heart right in the middle on each of my hearts that I have on there. And here it is. Perfect. Okay, the next thing to do on our teacup is to make the line that it has on the very top. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some painter's tape, cut that into strips, and use that to line my teacup. Now, it's a lot easier if you do this in strips just because it goes around, you know, the teacup easier. So you're going to make your line, again, make it like into a thick line, take off your painter's tape, and once all of that is nice and done, I'm going to go ahead and paint the rim with that same pink color on my teacup. Make sure you go nice and slowly. You don't want to make a mess out of your design. And here it is, all nice and done. Next step we have to do is we also have to do the bottom and the handle of our teacup. They are also painted that pink color. So go ahead and flip it over. And as you can see, this is just one coat, so make sure and give it 2 or 3 coats until it's nice and saturated. So our teacups are going to be transformed into a planter. You can use actual plants for this, but I'm not a good gardener and my plants die on me, so I'm actually going to make this into a fake planter. So I grabbed this ball styrofoam from the Dollar Tree, again with some hot glue. I'm going to glue that to the inside of my teacup. Make sure it's placed nicely inside. And then I grabbed these floral picks. These floral picks reminded me very much of like the whimsical world of Wonderland. So go ahead and cut them to the size that you need and stick them inside to the ball. Now another thing that I made for this was I made the leaves that actually are at the Alice in Wonderland ride. So let me show you how I did those. These are the leaves that are all around the Alice in Wonderland ride and also around the Mad Tea Party ride. And I think that this really gives it that whimsical touch. So I'm going to go ahead and try out the clay that they have at the Dollar Tree. I wanted to see how this worked, so let's go ahead and give it a try. Now it does work. My only thing is that you are going to have to put like some type of finish or sealer because this clay doesn't dry, just to let you know. Alright, so for my leaves, I'm going to be using the color white, the color pink, like the bubblegum pink. I used the purple and the light baby blue. And I did end up using a little bit of red too, so if you want to cut up some red, you can. So this clay is actually really moldable, really, you can, as much as you need it, it's actually pretty good. So what I did with all my colors is I grabbed each of my colors, a little bit of white, and I went ahead and mixed them to make a lighter shade of each color. So with the blue, I'm going to do that for all the blue and all the pink. The purple, I just did half. And here they all are, ready to go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to knead my blue and I'm going to make it into a leaf shape. This isn't too hard to do, and like I said, this clay is not that bad to work with. So go ahead and shape it into a leaf, a nice little teardrop. Rub it, do whatever you need to make it nice and smooth. And so we're going to do the same thing with the pink. And you can make it this as big as you want to, honey. I mean, I made mine a little bit too small, but it's okay, they still worked. So we are now going to make some snakes out of our clay with the dark purple, and I'm going to use that dark purple to make the lines of my leaves. So I'm going to make the inside part of the leaf, and then I'm also going to frame the leaf with some of that purple, and I'm going to make the little design. So each of the leaves can be any design you want to. For the blue leaf, I went with like a swirl design, and then I'll show you what I did with the pink one in just a second. So yes, so here is my blue one, and I think it looks so cool and whimsical. I did use a little bit of a dotting tool just to make sure that everything is stuck nicely together. Alright, so for the pink one, I'm going to grab a little bit of that purple, the light purple that I made. I'm going to add some red to it just because I didn't want to make another purple outline, and I made this really pretty magenta color. Same thing, same process. I'm going to go ahead and just make my snake pieces and outline my pink leaf. And this is what my pink one looks like. Like I said, they can both be different and you can make as many as you want. So I went ahead and added some reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree again into my teacup. Gonna use a little bit of some hot glue, and I'm just gonna glue those on. Like I said, just go ahead and use a sealer on there to make sure that your modeling clay just doesn't, ever get messed with. And here it is. It looks awesome. Alright, so the next project has to do with the lanterns, because what is a teacup party without the lanterns? Am I right? So I found this candle at the Dollar Tree. As soon as I saw it, you guys, I thought this makes a perfect lantern. So I'm just going to take off the label at the bottom, and I'm going to take off the twine that it has on it. Go ahead and save this because you can always use that for a different project. Now the lanterns have a design on them, so I'm going to use the pink that I used for the teacup, and I'm going to add a little bit of purple to that. Mix those paints nice and well, and you're just going to make any shade that you want of color for your candle jar. Now the Dollar Tree does have different candle jar colors, and I just picked I picked the pink one because it's Valentine's Day, and I'm not too much of a red person when it comes to decor. I like a little bit more of like subtle things. I mean, I'm more of a goth, but this works too. So go ahead and make some swirls, any designs you want to. This is pretty much up to whatever creativeness you want to add to it. I love that. So once that is all done and dry, as you can see, I went ahead and did that on all sides of my candle jar. We are gonna have to paint the rim of our lantern because lanterns have like this little black rim around it. So I'm just gonna use the black craft paint that is from the dollar store. I actually do love this one. And so you're gonna paint that, and then all you're gonna need is just make sure to add your little tea light inside, and it's ready to go once it's dry. And here it is, nice and done. Okay, so for the next project, I wanted to use some of these like Valentine decor with like the little candy shapes, and I was like, ooh, look at this frame. This frame looks cool, so I'm gonna make that. So I ended up finding this frame at the Dollar Tree. I thought the colors were perfect for Valentine. Not too pink, not too red. I thought it was great. All you want to do is you want to remove the back of that frame and clean up the edges just a little bit and remove everything that you can. Now, because it didn't come off solidly nicely, I'm going to go ahead and grab some paper, any type of paper. I'm using white for my background. I'm going to trace that. And then I'm going to cut it out. And I'm going to use a glue stick to glue that on there, just so that it looks nicer on there. If you use paint, you could do that, but you would still be able to see like any bits of paper that's left over from whatever you tried taking off. So go ahead and add that on there. Make sure that it fits onto your frame. Cut off anything excess that you need to. And so these are the stickers that I'll be using for this. Go ahead and use any colors that you want. It does come with different colors like orange, yellow, some blue, purple, and pink, and white. I am going to be using the clay once more to make a donut treat for this because hello, Disneyland and treats are the best, y'all. And I wanted to make the donut. So I'm going to be using some brown clay, some pink, and some white. I will be mixing the white with the pink and the white with the brown. Now the brown didn't come out the color that I wanted for my donut, so I'm going to be using a mixture of orange and yellow and mixing that into my brown just to make another nicer brown color. So this looks more like a donut. I'm going to roll out my clay into a log, and you want your log to be pretty thick because donuts are thick. Once your log is nice and ready, I measured mine out. It was about 5.5 inches, about 14.5 centimeters long. You can make yours as big as you want. And you're just gonna go ahead and make your circle shape. Make sure that your circle shape is about the same size as the stickers that you're gonna be using. So I made a circle for my donut. I didn't make it as thick as I wanted it at first, but I'll fix that in a little bit. And you're going to cut the other 2 log pieces and make the Mickey ears. So go ahead and make sure those stick on there very nicely. Like I said, I didn't like how thick that came out, but you can always fix that no matter what. So go ahead and stick your Mickey ears back on there if you're not happy. And now with my pink, I'm going to make some frosting on my ears. For the frosting, I just went ahead and made it as thin as I could. And I used my knife. You can use anything else. If you don't have a knife, an X-Acto, scissors, I guess, can even work. And you're just going to mold that and shape that to the size that is the donut. And then you're going to make a circle in the middle. This is what it's going to look like, just like frosting. So I'm just going to put that on the top and make sure it's sticking onto the other pieces of the clay. And on the back, I went ahead and used anything that you have on hand to make sure that everything is sticking together. Now with a little bit more white, I'm going to go ahead and make nice long little snakes and some pieces of sprinkles. You can make straight sprinkles like I did, or you can make circle sprinkles. You can make anything you want. Hey, if you don't want to make a donut, you can make anything else. It's all up to you. That's what I love about being creative, right? And so here is my donut all nice and finished. Like I said, just make sure it's the same size, roughly around like the hearts. So you're gonna grab your frame, your backing, and go ahead and like lay out everything. Make sure you like how it's looking. If you don't like some of the colors or how it's all coming out together, just move everything. So stick that back on. It's actually pretty easy to stick back on. And go ahead and start placing everything. Like I said, make sure you can see everything nicely. And all you have to do is just remove the stickers, and they're placed all in there. Now I'm gonna use some hot glue, and this will stick my little donut. And here it is. And here they all are. Oh my gosh, I love this, you guys. I really want to make some other Disneyland themed decor pieces or anything else. Go ahead and comment down below what else you want me to make. What is your favorite Disneyland ride at right now at the moment? And if you've never been to Disneyland, what ride would you like to go on? Don't forget to go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe. Go ahead and share this video. I'm trying to really get my channel up a little bit higher. I appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!